Today I want to show you all my jackets and coats that are going to be in my rotation this fall and winter. And I think it's a pretty good collection that's going to cover me for most occasions. It might seem like a lot of outerwear, but believe it or not, this is a heavily cut down version to what I used to have. And I do manage to get a good amount of wear out of all of them, and that's mainly due to the climate where I live in the UK being so cold. Now I do have a few other jackets and coats, but these are the ones I find myself wearing the most and will be my main outerwear this fall and winter. For reference, I'm 5'10", around 140 pounds, and I'll try and leave links to everything I'm wearing down in the description box below. First up, I just want to let you know what the rest of the outfit is in case you're interested. On feet I have the Dana Mountain Light boots with the swapped out laces, and the jeans I'm wearing are the pleated denim trousers from the women's UniClose U collection. I absolutely love the relaxed fit of these, but if you're thinking of picking them up, keep in mind to size down at least one, maybe even two sizes. You will thank me later. The t-shirt I'm wearing is from Alavol, probably one of the best value t-shirts you can get considering its heavyweight and made in Japan in that classic 50s/60s style. Now let's get on to the jackets. First up is this incredible vintage Varsity jacket. I've spent many months searching for a Varsity jacket that I was happy with. Those who know me know I'm extremely fussy over small details, and in this case I decided it needed to be wool, it needed to have a collar, and it needed to be affordable. This ticks all of those boxes. It's made by Empire New York, who have made Varsity jackets in the USA dating all the way back to the 50s, I believe. This one is from the 80s, as you can see the 88 patch on the arm, which is unfortunately quite heavily stained. On the front we can see it belonged to Maz, thanks Maz, and on the back it says Enfield Soccer, which is great because I love football. It's in this stunning dark forest green wool with a subtle off-white stripe down the arms. Being wool with a quilted lining also makes this piece extremely warm and cozy. It has that collar just as I had hoped for. You don't see these too often anymore, but I think it just looks way better than the non-collared Varsity jackets. And this was also very affordable. I snagged it off Vinted for just £25. Not bad at all. It's in a size medium and is a touch bigger than I would have liked, but that gives me an opportunity to layer something underneath if needed. But overall, I'm very happy and satisfied with this, and I look forward to wearing it for many years to come. Next up is one of my favourite jackets of all time, the Aro Leathers Type 3. If you followed me for a while, you'll have already heard me talk about this, but a quick recap, I got it custom made by Aro Leathers in Scotland. I specifically asked for it to be a boxy and cropped fit, true to the original Type 3 shape, and they absolutely delivered on this. It's made from front quarter jerky horsehide in this seal brown colour. I specified the antique brass buttons and cotton drill inner lining. It's not the warmest of jackets, but because I sized it quite generous across the chest, I can easily fit a sweater or hoodie underneath. I was lucky enough to get it on sale for just over £500, but even at full price I'd say this is still worth it, given that it's custom made for you and will truly be a jacket for life. Even though it's one of the most expensive pieces of clothing I've ever bought, I have absolutely no regrets. Next up, another vintage banger, this French chore jacket or coat. I actually picked this up before the summer and then it got too warm to wear it. And the main reason for that is because it's made of moleskin. You can find these coats in regular cotton, but the really nice ones are made of moleskin, which is still cotton but weaved in a way that makes it much thicker and gives it this suede-like finish. I paid £75 for this, which I thought was very reasonable given it's a genuine French-made vintage chore coat. I'm not sure how old it is, I'd say maybe 60s or 70s. I'm thinking older due to the shape of the collar, which is quite curved and reminds me of earlier rather than later collars. It was made by a company called Grand Taint, which is the dodgiest brand name I've heard in a while, and rather paradoxically with these vintage items, generally the poorer the condition the better, because it gives it so much character. And you can see this one has been worn many hundreds or even thousands of hours in the sun to achieve this incredible natural fade. It has signs of distressing all over, and the moleskin is truly broken in and very soft and comfortable. This is going to be a perfect fall or winter piece when you don't want to mess around with too many layers. A t-shirt underneath is all you need to stay pretty warm. Now I want to take a moment just to thank today's video sponsor, Manscaped. Specifically, I'd like to introduce you to their newest shaver, the Chairman Pro. This is without a doubt the most feature-packed shaver I've ever owned. It has a 360-degree contouring head and comes with two interchangeable skin-safe heads which can effortlessly be changed with the magnet connection. It also has flex adjust technology, meaning the blades and pivoting head adjust to the contours of your face and neck. This is super helpful for getting into those tricky or awkward spots. The Chairman Pro is also IPX7 waterproof rated, so no need to worry about getting it wet. In fact, you can wash it under the tap when you're done, which is so convenient. Other nice touches include the LED light, which highlight the area you're shaving, the travel lock to ensure it doesn't turn on in your bag when you're on the move, and also the digital screen that shows the battery life. This can be charged either wirelessly or via USB-C and lasts for up to 75 minutes on a full charge. So if you're looking to elevate your grooming routine, pick up the Chairman Pro today using my promo code JamesL for 20% off plus free shipping. Thank you again to Manscaped for sponsoring this video. Now, if you want something much warmer, then pay attention to this next coat. This is the UniClose C wool blend coat that I got from a recent collaboration with them. I love this coat because the fit is slightly relaxed, but not too oversized. So you can really wear it in a lot of different ways. In the marketing for this collection, they pair it with a hoodie and joggers and it looks great. But I've also worn it with a shirt, trousers and shoes and it looks just as good. And I think this brown color is so perfect for fall and winter. It's a sort of earthy, mixed yarn type of brown. It's particularly warm and cozy because of the double-faced lining, meaning you get that wool blend on the inside as well as the outside. It's fuzzy but not itchy or uncomfortable at all. I went for a size small in this and like I said, it's roomy but not too big. So I can easily fit a hoodie or sweater underneath if I want, but it works just as well with a simple t-shirt. Overcoats like this are truly timeless in my opinion. They will never go out of style. They're well made, warm and a classic design. It's a no regrets purchase. Next up is going to be this vintage J22 jacket from Carhat. I cannot tell you enough how comfortable and warm this jacket is. It's from the 90s or early 2000s, so over the years the canvas has become super soft. It's also got some great fading and distressing throughout, and I think we can all agree that Carhat jackets look best when they've been lived in. I believe this particular jacket was only produced for a short amount of time. There's many that look like it, but what makes this one distinct is the placement of the Carhat logo on the chest rather than on the pocket. It also has a brown corduroy collar and a quilted inner lining, which really does keep the heat in. Being an older Carhat jacket, it has that classic short length fit as well. I'm not too sure on the exact size because the label is completely faded away, but I'd guess a size 40. It's very relaxed across the chest and arms, and I've got plenty of room to layer underneath. This has probably been my #1 jacket this year for just throwing on quickly when I need to go out somewhere. This workwear style goes with almost everything in my wardrobe. If you keep an eye out, you can usually pick these up for between £50 and £100, which seems a lot for a distressed secondhand jacket, but I just think they look so effortlessly good and they will last you a long time. Next up is another jacket I've shown off many times, the Sugarcane Type 2 denim jacket. It's definitely starting to get a bit cold for this now, but I'm still managing to wear it a lot. Especially if I don't wear it as an outer layer. I love that look of layering a denim jacket underneath something like an overcoat. Sugarcane made it true to the original Type 2 design, so it's short in length with no hand warmer pockets. It's also fairly close fitting to the body compared to my leather Type 3 for example, so I wouldn't be able to layer anything underneath this except a t-shirt. I personally feel like the Type 2 is one of the nicest jacket designs out there. The pleats and front stitching give it an old school touch, and I really like the lower placement of the chest pockets. The Type 2 is also fairly uncommon, which is a bonus in my eyes. Unlike the Type 3, which you see absolutely everywhere. After the Aro leather jacket, it's probably one of my most complimented pieces because people just aren't used to seeing this design. I've started to get some nice fades, especially around the arms as you would expect, since I'm moving them around and leaning on things. I still haven't washed this since I bought it 2 years ago. Sounds kinda gross, but it's not dirty at all. I'm never sweating in it or anything. This continues to be a staple in my wardrobe and I will wear it for many years to come. Next up, another classic Carhat piece, the Detroit jacket. This has always been their most popular piece, but it became particularly hyped after Matthew McConaughey wore it in Interstellar. Everyone became obsessed with the short cropped length that just looked so good, and just like my other Carhat jacket, you're only going to get that from the vintage ones. Again, the tag is gone on this one, but it's probably 80s or 90s. Most of the Carhat jackets back then were short in length by design to allow for tool belts to be worn. so they hit just at the belt line, which happens to be aesthetically very pleasing. And so it's no surprise that these jackets have become so fashionable. And on top of that, they're just very well made. Like I said, this is probably 20 or 30 years old, and apart from the fading, which looks amazing, it's ready to go, and I have no doubt it could be worn for its intended purpose of actual work. Speaking of work, this did have some Stoneworks company embroidery on the back, which I unpicked. You can still clearly see it, but I actually think it looks kind of good the way it is now. This one is very close fitting. I think it might be a 38 or even 36 chest, so I can't really layer much underneath it. It does have a blanket lining, which is fairly warm, but if you want something that looks really similar and is way warmer, then try out this BDG jacket. I did a campaign with Urban Outfitters recently, and I received this jacket from them, and I really like it. It's called the Alba Worker jacket, and as you can tell, the design is very much influenced by the Detroit jacket. It has the same pocket layout, the same short length fit, the waist cinches, and even comes in similar colours, including a petrol blue colourway, which is particularly sought after in the Detroit jacket world, although I have it here in the brown colour, size small. But the BDG jacket has this fleece inner lining that makes a huge difference in terms of warmth. You basically don't need layers underneath this, it's so effective at keeping the heat in. And because the canvas is stonewashed, the jacket has this soft and broken in feel to it, so it's really comfortable. Another great thing about this jacket is that it's readily available in all sizes, which can't be said about the Detroit jackets, especially the vintage ones. This jacket is also priced way lower, and yet you're getting the addition of that fleece lining, which makes it more useful throughout the colder months. Last up is going to be another jacket you may have already seen on my channel, the Buzz Rickson's MA1 bomber. I did a dedicated video on this, so feel free to check it out. And the reason I did is because it's an extremely special MA1, not only because I'd been searching for years for one that I'd really liked, but also just because of the detail that Buzz Rickson's went into to make this. They make everything in Japan to the highest standards and accuracy, and this is a true reproduction of the original MA1 bomber jacket that was made for the US Army. That means it's got a generous size across the chest and arms, with that classic short length. It also has period correct zippers, woolen cuffs and hems, and not only is the outer shell really thick, but it's lined, which makes it heavyweight and warm. After all, these were made to be worn when flying in colder conditions. I went for a size medium and probably could have got away with a small, but I like these kinds of jackets to be a little bit looser. They are quite pricey at RRP, but my tip is to check the Japanese eBay sellers. Even after delivery and tax, it's much cheaper to import it rather than buy it from a Western store. I got mine for $165, which is crazy good value. Also, as a little added bonus to go along with the militant aesthetic, I just want to show you guys this Bleu de Chauffe bag. Okay, technically this is a fisherman's bag, but I think it goes so well here, especially in this khaki colour. It's made from British Millerain cotton canvas, which makes it unbelievably durable and hard wearing. But then the vegetable tanned leather trim and sturdy brass clasp give it elegance as well. It can be swung over the shoulder or held in hand. Inside is a felt laptop sleeve as well as a removable cotton pouch, which has been signed by the person who made this bag by hand in France. This is my go-to bag for long days out or short weekends. It's big enough to fit everything you need without feeling too cumbersome. And of course, it just looks really good when you're wearing it. It's like a tote bag, but way better. So there's all of my essential jackets and coats for this fall and winter. Like I said, I do have one or two more in my wardrobe, but these are the main ones I'm wearing at the moment. One glaring omission is something waterproof, which is crazy given I live in a country where it rains 90% of the time. So that's the only other piece of outerwear I'm really on the lookout for. If you have any suggestions, please do let me know. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ra.